What it do? What's good, y'all? We back at it, and I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. It might be over for Xbox, and you know what? Not even just for Xbox. It's over for the whole gaming community. Because what Steam just came out with, or came back out with, I should add, don't make no kind of sense. And it's high key. It's on and popping. Let's get straight into it, man. I'm not even about to waste y'all time. First of all, all of this is coming off of the heels of the state of play that just happened a couple days ago, and I'm not gonna lie, the timing couldn't be more impeccable. So as y'all know, with the state of play that happened with PlayStation a couple days ago, they announced their new monitor that has a built-in dock that you can charge your DualSense controller to. I believe it's like 27 inches and it's HD, all this other stuff. Well, today, a couple hours ago, Steam sat here and announced three products that are going to be coming early 2026. First of all, we got the Steam Frame, which is their new VR headset. The new Steam Machine, from what I understand, they tried to come out with a Steam Machine some years ago, didn't quite work out. They shelved it, and now they're back at it. And then the Steam Controller. Off the rip, I want to start with the Steam Controller. I'm gonna be honest with you, it kind of reminds me of the Duke controller for the original Xbox, and that's not inherently a bad thing, but it's definitely bulky. So if you're somebody that has smaller hands, this might be a little weird to hold. But from what I can see on the front of the console, or they're saying it's its own PC. Both the Steam Machine and the Steam Frame are going to be their own dedicated PCs, pretty much. You don't have to plug it into your computer or anything like that. They said you could take this, plug it straight into any TV or monitor, and start playing your Steam library. So, and plus with the front of it, it looks like you can plug in your own controller or anything like that. I'm sure it can run because I mean, heck, you can plug in an Xbox controller into a PC and play your Steam games and whatnot. But I just wanted to talk about that controller real quick because I know a lot of people are going to say it's bulky, but considering that they have these two trackpads here, I feel like it's going to be good for games that feel a little bit better using a mouse versus a controller. So you know what? I'll give credit where credit is due and say, it's not something that's brand new or groundbreaking or anything like that. But I feel like the options there, if you're somebody that has bigger hands or don't mind like a bulkier controller, this should be fine. I don't see this being too big of a problem. But moving on to the Steam Frame. Now, like I said before, they said the Steam Frame and the Steam Machine are pretty much going to be their own dedicated PCs. So with the Steam Frame, you'll be able to slip this bad boy straight over your head. No PC needed, nothing like that. You'll be able to slip it straight on, have its own. Both of these actually both have their own Steam OS on both of them as well. So and they said because it's its own dedicated PC, if you don't want to use the Steam OS, you can download something like Windows or something like that. So it's no problem at all. But let's go straight onto this big boy right here, man. First of all, on first glance, I'm not gonna lie, before I saw that it was the Steam Machine or anything like that, real talk, I only saw the image first before I saw the full breakdown and all of that. I thought this was a mini Xbox. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought this was gonna be like a new mini Xbox or like it low key kind of looks like a GameCube. I'm gonna be honest with you, but given the size and the dimensions of it, it looks like it might be the like about the same size as a GameCube, maybe a little bit smaller. But given the specs, it is they're saying it's a console type machine that plays Steam games and 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck, which I think is insane. 4K 60 FPS. There's two storage options. You got one at 512 gigabytes and one at 2 terabytes. One Steam OS, and like I said, it can run Windows, Zen 4 CPU, all that good stuff. Coming out early 2026. But also, not only is the Steam Deck, or sorry, not Steam Deck, the Steam Machine itself not that big, you just sit it on your desk or whatever. It has interchangeable plates. It has an LED light that you can customize and change. It gives off different icons and whatnot. And they said the fan itself is not that loud either. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Given all of this, especially not only off the heels of the state of play, but also off the heels of the ROG Ally, the Xbox, competitor to the Steam Deck. It seems like Xbox can't take a break, specifically Xbox. Like, it seems like no matter what they're doing, their competitors, whether it be PlayStation or Nintendo or now Steam, they can't win. They couldn't shoot fish in a barrel if they tried. Like, and not only that, they just came out and was announcing that their next console, will be able to run Steam games. Steam games, you'll be able to download Steam onto the console and all this good stuff. And on first, like when you first hear that, you're like, oh, that's cool. until you realize that they were saying, "Oh, it's gonna be about $1,200." And Imma be honest with you, if the new Steam machine is a fraction of that price, let's say it's $700, let's say it's like between $600 and $800. To me, I'm still going to lead more towards that because eventually a lot of those Xbox games are gonna be on Steam. And if I can play that on Steam and then the PlayStation games are gonna be on Steam, this little box is gonna give you a plethora of places to play all those games. There's no need, to have an Xbox or just a PlayStation or anything like that. And I know a lot of people have been saying that for a couple years, like get a PC, get a PC, get a PC. But now you don't even have to get your traditional like PC or gaming laptop or anything like that. The convenience in console gaming is now being issued in as its own, PC type of deal. So now, if you want to travel, if you don't have a gaming laptop or anything like that, you could take this little block, put it in a bag, and travel with it, plug it straight into your TV, and start playing games. This to me is awesome. I know they said early 2026, but I'm really wanting to see the price point for this because, like I said, if it's a fraction of the console that Xbox has planned, and they're talking about it's going to be 11 or $1,200. To me, I'm leaning more towards this. I'm leaning more towards this than the Steam Deck, and the Steam Deck is even more portable. But I mean, heck, if you have the option to take this little block, put it in a bag, and head out the door with it, to me, this is fantastic. And honestly, I want to get into some of the specs, or sorry, some of the specs and whatnot. Feel free to pause the video, take a look at some of this stuff that's going on here. For the RAM, you got 16 gigabytes DDR5 and 8 gigabytes of GDDR VRAM, and you can put in your own storage as well. Like at the bottom, it says both models include a high-speed micro SD card slot, so you don't have to worry about running out of space. To me, 2 terabytes, even 512 gigabytes is a lot, but the fact that they offer this micro SD option as well is fantastic. Off the rip, I know a lot of people got their Switch 2s and stuff like that, and they've like even with the Switch 1, the main problem for a lot of people was like the storage and stuff like that. And having to go out of your way, to go out and get a micro SD card and stuff like that is always already a hassle. But with a console that's already coming out the gate with 2 terabytes, and this is pulling straight from your Steam library, I don't see a problem with this at all. And not only that, all of the products that were announced today, the Steam Machine, the Steam the Steam Frame, and the controller, all of them are going to be integrated. So with the Steam Frame, when you put that headset straight on, you can integrate that with your Steam controller. All of it's going to be able to run through Wi-Fi 6E, which means you can link it together with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or if you have the Steam controller and the Steam machine, you can do both wired, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. Whatever kind of options, it's pretty much just options. Whatever suits your fancy the most, you'll be able to rock with it. And honestly, I'm here for it. It's fantastic. But like I said, to me, with them announcing this and this especially coming out in early 2026, I genuinely don't see a reason to buy anything Xbox related. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, and especially like with me, I grew up with both PlayStation and Xbox. I got into PC gaming a little bit later in my life, not until I was like in high school, maybe even graduated from high school. So I was a little bit late to the game. But all things considered, I think in this moment in time, unless you're just like a diehard Xbox fan, I don't see a real reason to buy it. And especially with not only computer parts and things of that nature going up in price, you want to get the most bang for your buck. You don't want to feel like gaming is being turned into a niche that's not easily accessible anymore. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, just to dive into a little bit more of the Steam Frame, it's going to come with a wireless adapter and dual radios and stuff like that. Both the controllers that come with the Steam Frame are going to have magnetic sticks as well, just like the Steam controller. Everything's going to be magnetic, so you don't have to worry about stick drift or anything like that. You'll be able to jump straight into your games. From what I understand, oh yeah, it's right here. It says camera tracking, no setup required. for high resolution and monochrome cameras, provide controller and headset tracking, infrared LEDs on the outside, making tracking great even in dark environments. And I know over the past couple of years, there's been people haven't been like 100% on board with VR gaming or even AR, like glasses and stuff like that. Prime example, I talk about the Google glasses and stuff like that. So I do appreciate Steam still, trying to like dip its toe in the market, because it seems like not everybody is 100% on board, and I don't think anybody will ever 100 will. I don't think the majority of people will ever be 100% on board, but you always want to have options in how you digest your entertainment. And I feel like since this is going to be its own standalone PC within itself, with the Steam machine and stuff like that, to me this just comes out as like different ways to enjoy your entertainment. And I feel like it's never a wrong thing to have options when it comes to stuff like this. But it's going to support standalone play as well. So you don't, like I said before, you don't have to hook this up to a PC or anything like that. It's its own dedicated PC, and you'll the same way that you will be able to install something like Windows like that on the Steam machine, you'll be able to do the same thing on the Steam Lens, or sorry, Steam Frame. But and there's going to be a developer kit. So for y'all content creators that got a little bit of pull and some bread, go crazy. I won't be able to get my hands on this or anything like that, but we out here. Steam came through today, and it's honestly, it's got its foot so far up Xbox's back end that I don't know how they go recover from this, man. Truthfully, truthfully. And two things I forgot to mention: the CPU and the GPU for the Steam machine. It's gonna have 4K gaming at 60 FPS with FSR. The power, there's not going to be a huge power brick or anything like that charging the console. The power bank is built right into it, so it's just going to be a cord. You plug it in, you start playing. It's literally, from whatever they've been showing to me, this is the definition of plug and play, just like any regular console. And to bounce back to the Steam frames, it's gonna be able to charge by USB Type C. So even if it doesn't come with a USB Type C cord, if you're somebody who has any kind of phone nowadays, most phones, if not all phones nowadays, use Type C. So I'm sure you'll be able to use your phone charger to charge the headset. Might take a little while, but you'll be able to use that. And if I'm not mistaken, the controllers will be able to take AA batteries from what I saw earlier. But with all that being said, man, y'all let me know down in the comments. Is Xbox cooked? Do you know, is this going to be some kind of groundbreaking thing? If you ask me, I think this is going to be a great introduction into PC gaming. Even if somebody doesn't want to go and get a gaming laptop or a PC or anything like that, I feel like if the price range is right, this is going to be a good alternative and a good space for people to be introduced to that world. Because at this point in time, this is its own like console. And I know back during the gaming wars, first party games and stuff like that meant a big deal. It's like, oh, we got PlayStation exclusives and Xbox exclusives. Well, nowadays, since everything is eventually coming to PC anyway, even if it's a year after it comes out, to me, if this is priced at a decent price range, this is going to be more appealing to the average person, because it's like, what would be the point in buying all these other consoles and stuff like that? All of the games are going to be on there. Not only that, the Steam library is very, very, very vast. It's always updating, and there's a lot of good games to be played over there. So, like I said, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Y'all let me know if y'all want to see more videos like this, and if you want me to keep touching base on stuff like this, man. But with that being said, hope y'all have a great day. Thank y'all for the love and support. I'll catch you in the next video, man. Peace. Y'all stay legendary.